calls me Goliath and I wear the David mask.
This is one more and hopefully a wake-up, Omaha, for the faint of heart. This is produced by Winstall Productions. Today's story is going to be about the time I met Lt Gen Vincent Steward, retired Marine and former DIA director who died earlier this year. And I met him a couple of years ago while I was escorting VIPs into the retirement ceremony for former DIA CIO director Jack Gumtow. And during my interaction with General Stewart, which is only about 5-10 minutes in total, because I escorted him into the ceremony from the front turnstile at the DIA headquarters, and then I escorted him after the ceremony out to the turnstile of the DIA headquarters. And this is about the interaction both times. And I've got the story written down, and I'm going to tell it, and then I'll also recount it, based on my memories as well. So the way I started off by telling it was today I spent a bit of one-on-one time with one of the most thoughtful, compassionate, and courageous leaders of a generation, Lt Gen Vincent Steward. To be clear, our amazing experience, at least from my perspective, was totally unplanned, a whim of chance, but one I won't soon forget, and I haven't forgotten because I've told the story a number of times over the last couple of years. And the way the story starts is I had the pleasure of escorting General Stewart to and from the retirement ceremony of retiring DIA CIO Jack Gumtow. And whatever compels a person, time and time again, to put themselves in a position from which they must devise their own rescue is beyond my ability to understand. But as I grow older, I begin to appreciate two things in particular. One, the intelligence and compassion of others to recognize a drowning man, throw him a safety line, and then make him feel comfortable with the situation. And two, I appreciate the opportunity to be vulnerable and relate with others through our human frailties. There were 3 or 4 of us who were escorting VIPs and other guests from the turnstile to the ceremony, which was about a 5-minute walk. And it came up to be my turn, and I saw this older gentleman walk up and get his badge, and I kind of made my way to where I could meet him. I walked up and I said, "Hello, sir." I said, "I'll be escorting you to the ceremony." He said, "Fine, let's go." So we started walking, and I asked him just to start conversation. I said, "Are you familiar with the building?" And he replied with a bit of an edge that I caught. It was maybe sarcasm. I'm not sure exactly what it was. And he said, "You could say that." And so we walk a little bit further, and I'm trying to think, okay, what does that mean? Who is this guy? Should I know who this guy is? I don't know. We get a little farther up, and he says, "I need to use the bathroom." He says, "I'll be right back." I said, "Fine, I'll wait for you here." And he went in. I'm thinking, and I realize this is probably Lt Gen Stewart, the former director of DIA, who I've just asked if he's familiar with the building that he owned for I don't know how many years. And I'm thinking, oh, shit, what do I do now? What do I say to him when he comes out? Do I say anything? And I was undecided, and then he came out. We started walking. I said, "Sir, I apologize, but you're Lt Gen Stewart, aren't you?" He goes, "Yes, I am." I said, "I apologize." He goes, "Oh, don't worry, but it's a good thing you caught yourself, because if you hadn't caught yourself, I was going to take you by the director's wall, and I was going to point out my picture." And so just so you know, the director's wall is where there's a picture and a biography of all the former directors along one wall in the DIA headquarters. And I can't remember what we talked about. It was, another few minutes to where the retirement ceremony was going to be. And he went on his way, and the retirement ceremony happened. And then it just so happened when the ceremony was over, I happened to be next up to escort the next VIP coming out, and he came out. And so we started walking, towards the ramp that heads out to the building. He goes, "Let's go this way." And this way, he and I both knew, went by the director's wall. So at this point, I'm thinking, this is a pretty sharp guy. I like his style. So we went by the director's wall, and we stopped there. And we stopped by his picture there. And I asked him, and we were looking at his picture, and I said, "Sir, is there anything, what do you miss the most about not being director anymore?" And he thought for a second, and he said, "The thing I missed the most was being an African American in a position that allowed me to be a role model to many people." And then he said, "The two accomplishments I am most proud of are establishing the DIA Museum and the DIA Chapel." As we're walking, we're heading down the stairs, he said, "I hope," and he continued, and he said, "I hope the chapel still exists because our nation doesn't always appreciate the religious values and beliefs of its founding fathers, and we sometimes forget the past to our detriment." And even at the time, even at the moment, I knew this was special because he was confiding in me some of his very sincere, genuine remarks. To me, a guy who it could have appeared I insulted him by not recognizing who he was, and a lesser man may have just not given me the time of day. But General Stewart had humor, and he had compassion, and he entrusted me with some of his thoughts. And so I've told this story multiple times over the last couple of years, and I'm proud to have been a part of it, even though it wasn't my proudest moment.
Stones are coming to face her now.
This has been One More and Hopefully a Wake Up, Omaha, for the faint of heart, produced by Winstell Productions. My name is Joe, and thank you for listening.